In April of this year, I was in England with a couple friends planning to drive to Germany and to Austria for Wörthersee. And a couple days before we left, we were discussing Eastern Bloc cars just in conversation and whether or not you could find them in England. And so as an example, I basically pulled my computer out and went through a few online classified websites to just kind of show what may be available in England for Ladas. And sure enough, there was a 1979 orange Lada for a pretty fair price, low mileage, looked like it was in good shape. So immediately I was interested. So we called the guy and it had been sold. Well, it turns out he had an older one for sale as well that he hadn't listed yet. The stars aligned, we went to look at it a day before we left for Germany, basically. And I paid a Russian man in PayPal, with PayPal, for a Lada that he was keeping the keys for, and we were driving to Germany. So, and a couple of days later, I had a friend from Wales arrive with a Ram truck to collect the car. We were getting on the train in the Eurotunnel heading into France when I received a photo of the Lada on the truck, and all doubt was released from me. It was in my possession for one day, bone stock, and then we just tore the thing apart, and 2 weeks later, we've got it basically where I want it. If I can remember all of the little details that I've done on the car, the massive things were basically air suspension, had to sort out how we were gonna get the bags in the car and get the car sitting exactly where I wanted it. Then I decided to design and make some motorsport turbofans. And that was a bit of a challenge because I was mating them to Epsilon wheels, and Epsilons didn't have threaded on center cap, wasn't sure how they were gonna mount. I had never made turbofans before, so that took up a lot of time. Aside from that, it was putting together new old stock parts for the car, the grill badge, the badge itself, lenses, mechanical parts, aesthetic parts, etc., etc. Friends from Russia and Ukraine helped out with that. I made a custom controller mount that I laser engraved and laser cut, rear plate that I laser engraved. I laser engraved the oil filter just because the original filter was black and had Russian writing all over it, and a white Napa filter didn't really fit the bill. It feels really cool because not only was everything spur of the moment and an irrational decision to spend money and get this whole thing sorted out. It was my first car I've shipped from Europe, so I got my feet wet doing that. I met a lot of people in that process too. I will certainly do this again. Maybe with a Russian car, maybe with a Japanese car, I don't know, but it's been cool finding something and bringing it home, more or less.